Hi friends, if anything is the most controversial about India nowadays, it is India's foreign policy. I will discuss all these things in detail. Now at the outset let us see three phases of India's foreign policy. What are the three phases? The first phase began in 1947. At that time, you all are aware, India was a newly born baby and the geopolitical landscape was divided into two military groups. One was headed by USA and other was headed by the Soviet Union. India decided not to join either of the two military groups and better to go independently in between the two, what they call it non-alignment. So policy of non-alignment started from 1947 and perfectly working for next 40-45 years till 1992. In 92, the second phase began when the Soviet Union was collapsed. India again decided not to ally with USA or any superpower. India just modified its policy of non-alignment into multi-alignment. So the journey of multi-alignment began from 1992 and continued till the end of 2025. In 2026, the war started in Gulf, Iran war. Suddenly India changed its stand, its policy. The policy was changed from multi-alignment to the alignment with the USA. For the first time, India joined any superpower for the first time, never earlier. So this policy of alignment with the USA has become most controversial, as I said earlier. Why controversial? Because critics have their own views. So let us see first what is critics' views. First views, what they call it, this alignment policy is partial. Why partial? Because what they call it, India needs American technology, no doubt. India also needs Israel defense system. This is also correct. But this is not enough. India also needs Russian weapon. India also needs Chinese critical raw material. India too needs Iran's Gwadar port. And India needs oil and gas from Gulf, particularly UAE, the third largest trade partner of India in the world after China and USA. Alone, UAE has been investing around $40 billion every year. So, no doubt, India needs America, Israel, but India cannot ignore all these countries. But India is standing with only America and Israel and needs support from everyone. How it could be possible? You need to walk on land surface, but you are sitting on the boat. How it could be possible? Sitting on the boat and decide to walk on the surface, land surface. Okay, this is number one. Number two is India's policy is mismatching. Why they call it mismatching? It is because India has changed her foreign policy from multi-alignment to the alignment with the USA, despite the geopolitical landscape remains unchanged. This is number two. Number three is India is under unprecedented pressure. Unprecedented pressure, if at all India is under Chinese pressure, under Russian pressure, or if at all Iran's pressure, that could be understood because India do not stand with them. India stands with the rivals of USA and Israel. But unfortunately, India also under pressure of the USA. What the USA used the term, vulgar term against India, you all are aware of. The abuses he is using, that vulgar term, I cannot put it on my tongue. You all are aware of. So India stands with Israel or America at the equal level friend or as a follower. This point has to be decided. This is what the critics say has to be decided. Now, the further criticism, what they made it known as suicidal. This policy is suicidal. As because, what they call it, the India has damaged its own global south image. India has its image in the south, global south, big countries, but it has been suicided by India itself by joining only with America and Israel. India also damaged its own credibility as an independent power. How can you credible? That's the problem. Another criticism made is violation of principles of India's foreign policy. You all are aware the principles of India's foreign policy is known as one of the best in the world. So many points are there, but here I only quote two. One is non-aggression, other is non-intervention. Whoever attacked other country, India has always been criticizing them. Whoever is intervening in the domestic affairs of other country, India has been severely criticizing those countries. Now India itself is not following non-intervention or non-aggression. When America and Israel both attacked Iran now, India kept quiet. India could not condemn it. So therefore India is criticized. And two more points are there. Other one is the imbalance. This policy is imbalance. Why they call it imbalance? Because India has been perfectly maintaining its balanced policy of balance of power between Quad with USA and BRICS with China, Russia and Iran. So in between the two opposite groups, rival, India has been maintaining perfectly balance in between the two. India is the member of Quad also and BRICS also. While India is in the Quad or in the BRICS, after India following the policy of alignment with the USA, India is getting sidelined from both. India is the president of both this year, 26. Quad also president and BRICS also president. So by the end of March, BRICS summit was to be held here in India but has not been held. President Trump was supposed to attend here in New Delhi this conference. Neither conference held nor Trump has come. So India is sidelined. As regards BRICS are concerned, all 10 members, India is sidelined from rest of the members. Example I am giving to you. Just 15-20 days before, there was a conference here of BRICS foreign ministers. Unfortunately, this meeting of deputy foreign ministers ended with no joint statement. As because rest of the members of the BRICS could not convince with India's softened policy towards USA and Israel. So India is sidelined because of standing with USA and Israel. Okay. Again, after a few days, 5 days, 14th or 15th of May, again foreign minister of Quad are coming here in New Delhi. Because India is the president of Quad. This meeting would be held in New Delhi. Now, foreign minister, what India will do? Will again joint statement would be given or not? Then after again the gap of 2-3 months, at the end of this year, might be October or September, a summit would be held of BRICS when the members, president or prime minister will attend it. Will India easily carry out the unity of the BRICS? This is a very big question. Now, after from this thing, one more point is here that this policy is unjustifiable. Recently, in New Delhi, a meeting of heads of mission meeting held here in Delhi, again at the end of April 2026, just 20 days before. What happened? India tried to convince all the members, 190 ambassadors of the world attended this meeting in New Delhi. India tried to convince them with the policy of alignment. Nobody was convinced. Everyone had the same view. Standing with one and need everyone, how it could be possible contradictory? This is all about critics' view. But this is not enough. I will give you other side of the view also. What government justification is here. So pros and cons, both view I am giving to you. One side negative, not positive. Government says criticizing India as India's foreign policy is not independence is very easy. But it is very, very difficult to stand independent in the current geopolitical situation. They say it that independent space is shrinking in the polarized world. So India needed somebody to stand with India. India was absolutely isolated. So to India, at least expect USA and Israel will stand. But as I have told you, the India is standing with them, that's all right. But whether they will stand, they are also standing with India or not, this is the big question. Now, second one is, the foreign policy is not morality. Government of India says this is not morality. You hardly have any choice to have this kind of policy or that kind of policy. Tough situation you have to face. The hard reality you have to face to protect and promote your national interest in the given world order. It's a very, very difficult one. So morality question is not here. Here the question of hard one. So India's foreign policy is not morality. It is a hard to tackle national interest in the given world order. Third view, Government of India says that Iran war has forced India to take side. So India has done it under pressure. India accepted it. Okay, this is all about both the sides, pros and cons, about India's current foreign policy, I told you. Now my own view. What I have view. I have the freedom to submit my own view also. The first of all, I would like to say that India still needs multi-alignment because situation is multiple. You have to need everyone. You have to get related with everyone. How can you dare to stand with only one? Number two is that India might eventually adopt dynamic and liberal stand to balance relations with rivals. Whether you like or not today, eventually you may like, you have to bring to the reality. Then you have to get all your national interests from both the rivals. And the third submission is, can India become a great power without clear and independent geopolitical position? If you have no position in the world, then how can you become the great power? You have to take position, maybe risky, but you have to have some stand. And finally, last point is that this is India's litmus test to justify policy of alignment with the USA. This is all about my video. Thank you each and every one of you.